Welcome to Return to Athens. This week, a football star signs on as a volunteer. We speak to the architect of the stadium roof. And this is not a fashion statement. All that and more as we return to Athens. Firstly, the Olympic volunteer program received a huge boost when Christian Karambou, the Olympiacos Football Club midfield striker, signed on as an Olympic volunteer. Aged 34, Karambou is well known for his on-field performances, but has a massive off-field profile, heightened by his marriage to Slovakian supermodel Adriana Skenarikova. Karambou, a Frenchman, was a member of the victorious 1998 World Cup side and has previously played for Real Madrid as well as Premier League club Middlesbrough before being transferred to Olympiacos 3 years ago. The football celebrity first met with Athens 2004 Executive Director Spiros Kaprilos, then went on to the Volunteers Interview Centre to sign his application form.
First of all, I think that I'm first citizen of Athens, so naturally I had this deep in myself to be volunteer, but also because it's a big event and I wanted to share this event. It's my way to participate in this event because I never do Olympic Games, so this is my way to participate.
Yes.
Along with the able-bodied games, Christian has also signed on as a volunteer for the Paralympic Games, which will take place from the 17th to the 28th of September.
I made an interview yesterday and I was thinking also about Paralympic. I think also they need our support, they need volunteers also. And I think it's the same organization and they need, how can I say it, this regard, consideration, because they're as if they're maybe something less than us, but we need to consider them like a human being, like normal people.
If you will allow me...
As an expatriate Frenchman living in Athens for the last 3 years, does he think that the city can bring off a truly unique and successful Olympic Games?
Yes, I believe a lot and strongly because first of all, because the Olympic Games was born here in Greece, so we need to give new, how can I say, the new birth, and I hope that August we're going to show in the world that there is a new Olympic Games, a modern Olympic Games, and Athens is going to show them.
While Karambou had a little trouble putting on his official cap over that famous mop of hair, what sports other than football does he intend to visit whilst in his official role as a volunteer?
Of course, I would like to see the final of 100 meters, the relay also, 100 meters. Many categories I would like to see also, pentathlon, but 200 also because I think we have the champion here, so I hope that we're going to have also many Greek champions. Next Olympic Games. Yeah.
There is a myriad of tasks to perform as a volunteer, but if you're on the way to a venue, take a moment to ask one of the volunteers' directions. You never know who you could meet. The sport that you're most likely to see Christian at is the football competition, to be played in 5 different Greek cities. Preliminary competition takes place 2 days before the opening ceremony and continues until day 16 or the final day. All the medal matches will take place in Athens. France has played a significant role in the history of the modern games and has always fielded a large team. Not only is the team large, they are talented and driven. The French capital of Paris has held the Olympics twice. First time in the second Olympiad of 1900, when the sport of archery was introduced but later dropped as no one could agree on a set of rules. The sport returned to the Games in Munich 1972. Paris again hosted in 1924, the city bidding to host the Games for a third time in 2012. France has produced some brilliant Olympic teams and athletes. While enjoying success in most sports, track and field is the most likely ground to celebrate for the French in 2004. However, with triple Olympic champion Marie-Josée Pérec no longer competing, the team have a lot to live up to. In 2000, Perec surrounded herself in controversy when she unexpectedly left Sydney alleging harassment. At the last World Track and Field Championships, held in Paris, the next generation of stars put their hands up to be the next big hopes in French athletics. The women's 4x100 relay team took on the world and won. In Athens, they'll have to rise to another level to take the gold medal home. Mountain bike is one of the most gruelling disciplines on the Olympic program and a likely medal for France. In 1996, he took the bronze. Sydney, Miguel Martinez claimed ownership of the Olympic crown with a stunning comeback ride in the men's event, and Mighty Mouse looks like backing up in Athens for gold medal number 2. France has dominated all cycling disciplines, taking home over 60 medals, ranging from individual to team performances on both the road and in the velodrome. Over 30 of those medals are gold. There is no question that the tally will grow in Athens. On the football pitch, France booted their way to gold and glory at Los Angeles in 1984. They battled against football leviathans Brazil in the final in front of 101,000 screaming fans, the French winning the match with 2 second-half goals by Francois Brisson. With consistent performances in recent World Cups, an impressive showing at this year's Games may be on the cards. France has also showed the world what they can do in equestrian. They've won a bag of medals in the men's 3-day and team events, as well as in the show jumping arena, where they have seen even more success. France has always been a strong Olympic nation. The first IOC president was a Frenchman. France often finishes in the top 10 medal winners, and they'll be looking to shine bright in Athens, jumping over any barriers placed in their way. Updating you on news from the President's desk, and it appears that the IOC and ATHOC are now outwardly showing concern as the deadlines loom on delayed Olympic projects. President Jacques Droga once again issued warnings, this time to Greece's new government spending over 2 hours speaking to Premier Kostas Karamanlis, warning him that Greece must make crucial decisions on overdue Olympic developments.
The IOC and ATHOC have presented to the Prime Minister a list of points where decisions have to be taken, and we feel that there is now a window of opportunity of about 2 weeks for the Prime Minister and the government to study the files in detail and to take the necessary decisions. Our experts are adamant that there is still enough time to finish everything in due time and to have very successful games.
Again, the major concern, the steel and glass roof over the main stadium. Later, in return to Athens, we'll speak to Spanish architect Santiago Calatrava about his thoughts on whether the roof would be ready.
We have concerns with the roof of the Olympic Stadium. We have concerns with the completion of the works of suburban rail and the tramway, and I could give more examples. We are relieved to know that the issue of the Marathon Road has been solved before we arrived. So there is a long list of points that has to be cleared, and that is what now the Prime Minister and the government are going to discuss and to analyse.
Droga and Chief of the Organising Committee also discussing security.
The security measures always encompass all possible scenarios. What happened in Madrid will definitely be analysed by the security forces, and the provisions that are put in place are always those that have been put in place for a maximum security.
Our message is we are optimistic. We still continue to work very, very hard, and we do not rest. We all know the problems. There are still many challenges. What is important is that we already have started working closely, intensely, and I believe constructively with the new government.
Greece requesting the help of NATO to safeguard the Olympics after a recent spate of terrorist attacks.
The Prime Minister of Greece is personally committed, and this is a very important decision. So I believe that this will speed up all efforts we are doing for the Games.
Nevertheless, putting a different spin on matters, the architect who designed the controversial roof for the main stadium said the project would be finished in time, breaking his silence amidst the previous concerns of the International Olympic Committee over the project. Santiago Calatrava positive that the project will be ready.
Well, it will be, you see, ready for the Olympics, for sure, for the Olympics. Will be ready.
For the opening ceremony or earlier?
Yes, earlier, of course. You know, we have to prepare the whole installation in order that all the tests can be done and so on. So, you see, the message, if there is a message that I would like to give to you, is an optimistic message. Things are going ahead. We are working very well with the minister. We have had a very successful meeting, and things are going forward.
There has been ongoing concerns about the stadium roof. IOC officials even suggested abandoning the project altogether.
We are monitoring things on a daily basis and holding meetings on a daily basis to review the progress, because every single day there must be progress. There is no time to lose.
However, it's not all grim news when it comes to construction of the venues. This one's almost complete and it looks sensational. The Galatsi Olympic Hall is situated to the northwest of the city centre and has been specially designed to host the sport of table tennis and the rhythmic gymnastics events. The overall construction includes the main building, which will seat around 6,500 spectators, along with developing the surrounding areas, adding modern access roads and setting aside areas for parking. The stadium will see 172 athletes come and compete and is 16 kilometres by road from the main Olympic Village. The official Games transport should have athletes depart the village and arrive within half an hour. The Ministry of Culture will deliver the venue as well as the road project for its official opening on the 30th of July. There are 3 Olympic hurdling events, the 100 for women, the 110 for men and the 400 for both. The emergence of hurdling occurred around 1830, introduced as a variation on the 100-metre flat race, with heavy wooden barriers placed across the track. The increased distance of 400 metres was introduced into competition in the early 1860s, around 30 years prior to the first Games, and was run with 12 barriers around the track. Every hurdle race is an emotional one, filled with apprehension and disappointment. As well as having champions like 3 times world title holder Gail Devers and legends like Edwin Moses. The skills needed to compete in hurdles have continued to evolve since the event was first run. Originally, the jumps were fixed to the track. The jumping technique differed from today, with the athletes tucking their legs under their bodies. Thankfully, the fixed hurdles were replaced in 1895 by a lighter barrier designed so it could be knocked forward. Advances also made with the L-shaped hurdles introduced in 1935. This hurdle constructed with a counterbalance mechanism that helped eliminate the risk of injury, with the hurdle falling over with the right amount of pressure. Athletes have also been helped by the introduction of synthetic tracks that first appeared in the 1960s. This gave the competitors the ability to rebound off the track. Originally, a record was disallowed if a runner knocked over a single hurdle, and if a competitor knocked over more than 3, they were disqualified. This rule was abolished in 1935.
Johnson and Garcia very close together, also going well as Wade lane 3. The three of them crossing the line together there.
In traversing the hurdles, there are a few things to keep in mind. With each jump, you must ensure that your trailing leg and foot clears the same level of the hurdles. However, you are permitted to knock over hurdles, but not deliberately. And naturally, you must also only jump the hurdles in your assigned lane. Hurdles are an unusual event, having characteristics of both a running race as well as a field event. The athletes must possess certain qualities in order to succeed. Today's hurdlers begin their path as sprinters, requiring the attributes of speed, power, strength and reflexes. Modern hurdlers have similar physiques. Tall with long legs, whilst not a necessity, it certainly helps in clearing the hurdles. The key to winning this event is to have an easy and fluid run to the takeoff stage and then quickly recover. You must not lose your stride or rhythm prior to the next takeoff. You must maintain speed in between the hurdles, and finally, it's important not to waste energy by gaining too much height when clearing them. Gail Devers knows from experience the highs and lows of being an Olympic athlete. She remains the only woman to win 3 world hurdling titles, but after years of consecutive bad luck, she is still yet to win an Olympic medal. American-born Edwin Moses took the 400 metres hurdles and made it his own, not only conquering the competition, but dominating the sport for almost 10 years. His longest unbeaten stretch totalled an amazing 122 races. Last year, he announced his intentions to make a comeback to the track, setting himself the goal of appearing at the US Olympic trials. With a qualifying time of 50.5 seconds needed, only time will tell. While Edwin looks at coming back after 14 years, Gail Devers must also decide if she should return in the hope that the Athens Olympics brings her better luck than the previous games. What a moment that would be if the gold is hers. To new technology, and this is what some experts are claiming to be the fastest swimming suit around. And they're hoping it will cause a big splash in the main pool on day 1 of the competition. And the sport's elite like the fit.
The suit feels fantastic. It's a big change from where we've been in the past. It's obviously moving forward. The advancements in the suit make it a lot more comfortable and obviously faster, which is what we want.
While other superstars are certain that the suit will give them an all-important edge in the water.
I train hard sort of all year round really, and it'd be great to get to the Olympics behind the blocks and know that I've sort of got the new Fast Skin 2 on, and it's sort of the extra edge really.
Full body suits made from fabric that attempts to mimic shark skin first appeared 4 years ago. And since then, Speedo researchers have discovered that a shark skin texture is not the same over the length of its body. As a result, research called computational fluid dynamics was applied, and Speedo created a virtual swimmer to see how water moved over the body.
The suits for this Olympics are made of 2 fabrics, not 1. And there's a male suit and a female suit. During the course of our computational fluid dynamics analysis and our flume testing, we discovered that water moves differently around a female than it does a male.
They believed the tests would find the areas of greatest friction, enabling them to design a suit that would reduce that friction, hence the FS2, the world's first bodysuit made specifically for men and women.
computational fluid dynamics identifies areas on the body where water travels differently. And what we've done is we've located those areas and used materials that can reduce drag according to how it behaves. And that's why we have the different fabrics in different places for the male and female bodies.
Many of the world's top swimmers are expected to wear the new suit in Athens. However, it may prove to be controversial, as there have already been some claims that those wearing the suit would have an unfair advantage. To see the new sharkskin suits in action, you'll need to be in Athens for the first day of competition. And for the first time in Olympic Games history, all aquatic events will be held at a single venue, the Olympic Aquatic Centre of the main Olympic Sports Complex. The discipline of swimming commences the aquatics program, with the sport spanning all 16 days of the Games. Tickets to swimming are between €30 and €200. Water polo follows the swimming, and tickets to one of the fastest and most competitive of any Olympic discipline are slightly cheaper, with the best seats in the house being €120. The aquatics facilities are being refitted to meet Olympic standards. Sadly, things are behind schedule, with the roof over the main outdoor pool not as yet commenced, and the sport's governing body FINA is demanding action. The modifications consist of enlarging parts of the venue, increasing seating capacities, building a synchronised swimming pool, redesigning and adding springboards and platforms in the dive pool. The final discipline to be contested, commencing on day 10, is synchronised swimming, one of only 3 Olympic disciplines in which only women compete. A synchronised swimming pool is over 3 metres deep and is 12 square metres in area. Tickets to one of the most graceful events range from €30 up to €120 for the best seats. Finally, the major round of qualifying for hockey has been completed, with 7 spots available, the Dutch easily making the grade. Next country to qualify was Spain, the silver medalists in 1996 and looking good for a podium place. Arch rivals Pakistan defeated India to qualify in 3rd and 4th place respectively. Great Britain have a shot at taking a medal, although inconsistent in the qualifiers, the Brits finished in 5th spot and can pack their sticks for Athens. The South Africans finished the round-robin tournament in 7th place to gain the final Olympic spot, although Greece has protested against their inclusion, asking for an automatic qualification as host nation. New Zealand finished 6th, also included in the eventual 12-team Olympic shootout. So, as we creep ever closer to August, remember to keep watching Return to Athens, as we bring you the latest in the behind-the-scenes news and views in the lead-up to Athens 2004.